That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Man Scout Monday, and I am the Man Scout on a Monday. That's how this works. And alliteration is super important, but it's super important that you guys are here. Thank you so much for tuning in on the program. As always, guys, I can't thank you guys enough. And I got to tell you, it has been a busy 2 days. It was a mad dash just to get this show on today. So I'm just glad that I was able to still hit click play for that intro video right there at 10 o'clock. As soon as I see it click over on my computer screen, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning into the program today because, like I said, it was very last minute. I didn't know if I had enough time to go pee, grab a drink of water, but you guys got here in plenty of time, and especially a lot of you early people, I'm sure you've already hit the share button as much as possible. I see some people already commenting already. Guys, super important. Hit that share button. Let everybody know about all the fun we're having over here. I have a doozy of a show that may or may not cancel the next set of shows I have. I don't know. I'm really, like I said, it was a lot just to get the program on today. So if I violate the community standards this week, great. It gives me a couple weeks off. My girlfriend is telling me that the subtitles don't work. So sorry, babe. Looks like you're gonna have to watch this one after work. But guys, it's super important, as I said, to hit the share button. But hey, also to hit that heart button, that thumbs up button, whatever that little stream of thing, especially on IG, that's super important. Hit the heart button a whole bunch of times, see those hearts fly up, those thumbs up, because the more that you do that, the more it sends people over to this location and know about all the fun that you guys already know about. But as always, guys, you already know that I have a very busy life, but you also know how much I love professional wrestling and how important it is to my life. And you find it in different walks of life. You don't really recognize how important it is or the connections you make. And sometimes you don't realize it till like much later in your life. Perfect example. As you guys may or may not know, I have a job with the Carolina Panthers, which is affiliated with Fanatics. You've seen the commercials on ESPN's Fanatics. I should know their slogan a lot better, considering they direct deposit in my account every 2 weeks. But regardless, I have been working very diligently in a part-time position. Most people are like, oh, you got a job now, you're good, Jake, you're great. Actually, no. I'm more terrified than I've ever been in my entire life. Right now, I'm currently working a part-time job to impress them to get a full-time job at the Carolina Panthers and Fanatics. And actually, we had our boss's boss come in, and he kind of looked around and really kind of kicked us right in the butt and got us going. And I gotta say, it's probably a much needed kick in the rear end because we had a lot to do before opening day, start of the regular season, which we're just a few weeks away from, about 2 weeks away. So we had a lot of work to do at Bank of America Stadium, and thankfully I think we got a good chunk of it done. I think the store looks fantastic and incredible, but it took a lot of hard work from a lot of people on our staff, and it really kind of drained a lot of people, and it was real tough on everybody. And also, too, I kind of found out that the full-time job I was vying for was not going to be a thing. And I was like, well, I don't really know why I'm here. But then I found out there might be another position because there's so much work to be done that they may be creating another one. And I was kind of disappointed, that I just found this out in a meeting in passing. And it kind of hurt me. I was like, I feel like I've been working for 2 months to get this full-time position. And you just say in passing in a meeting, like, yeah, that's going to somebody else. And maybe that's just triggered from the years of professional wrestling that I have. It really kind of hurt me. And it kind of just really, really bummed me out. But I still reported at work next day, still actually reported to work 2 hours early because I knew we had a lot of work to do. And I wanted to show that I'm still a team player. I'm still ready to work hard, and came in and I busted my ass. And, I overheard that there might be another position that I might be up for. And I'm like, great. And I just really felt like, I got to take this opportunity, which I don't normally do. and recognize it. My boss's 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 boss is right here in the store, in the stadium, and I can get some FaceTime with him. And all he knows about me is I'm a part-time employee who's been there for 2 months, and my name is Jake. That's all he knows. That's, so obviously, he clearly, wasn't going to give me the assistant store manager job because like, that's all you know of me. And matter of fact, he got my name wrong a couple of times. But I pulled him aside and I was like, let me introduce myself. And I explained to him my long resume of working in a professional wrestling warehouse for over 16 years and all the virtual stuff that I've done and selling from anywhere from minor league baseball parks to civic centers to high school gyms to dirt track race tracks in the middle of North Carolina to carnivals to fairgrounds to stadiums in Puerto Rico and everywhere in between. And he seemed pretty impressed. And I brought up pro wrestling and he was like, he goes, "That's cool to know." And I showed up the next day ready for the last preseason game at Bank of America Stadium. And as soon as I walked in, my boss's boss actually did some YouTube digging and found one of my matches and became a fan. So much, in fact, that he wanted a selfie with me and wanted to talk about pro wrestling. We had to open the stadium in mere hours, and he just wanted to know if Vince McMahon was going to sell the WWE and what my thoughts are on Tony Khan, which he actually works with Tony Khan because Fanatics is based out of Jacksonville. But he wanted my opinions on how AEW is doing. So this guy who really kind of kicked me in the rear end and really I was kind of down about like, oh man, is this a company I want to work for? And come to find out, huge wrestling fan. And matter of fact, the night before we talked, he rewatched SummerSlam. He was such a big fan. He rewatched SummerSlam, all 4 hours and 57 minutes of it. Or maybe it's 8 hours. I don't know how long SummerSlam is anymore. SummerSlam 2 nights now? I don't know. But regardless, this person, and you guys have bosses, and you run into them all the time, and you all have varying opinions about them, and some of them aren't as favorable, and you're like, oh gosh, it's really tough. There's a lot of high pressure, there's a lot of stress, and it's amazing how pro wrestling can just cut through that I'm a fan, you're in it, you're clearly a fan, let's talk about pro wrestling. That's amazing. Like, someone who I had all these awkward feelings with and these feelings of pressures around, and then we're just leaning on a Nike rack, just talking about how great WCW Nitro was back in the day and flipping back and forth from the USA Network to TNT. So what I'm saying is, if you feel nervous around somebody, if you feel awkward around somebody, if you feel a sense of pressure, ask if they're a wrestling fan. Because if you're a wrestling fan and they're a wrestling fan, you cut right through it. And the friendship is universal. So what I'm saying is, hopefully it gets me a job. That's all. That's really the point I was trying to make. But guys, just find your fans, find your friends, and you can find them through pro wrestling. And that's what I hope that you guys do. But most importantly, I hope you go out to a wrestling show sometime soon. I was just at a pro wrestling show this weekend, Elevation Pro Wrestling. They had a show at Hogtown Fitness CrossFit in Lexington, North Carolina. It's been a very long time since I've wrestled in Lexington, North Carolina. And this was going to be the second time that my girlfriend has ever seen me wrestle before. And so it was a little bit of nerves with that. But at the same time, too, wasn't that many people there. And I don't blame them. It was super hot in there. It was super hot. But Elevation Pro Wrestling, they have an amazing set, amazing like ring skirts, turnbuckle pads. Like the presentation was incredible. And I've seen other events where they've had where it's been packed, but on this particular day, it's just one of those things. Like my girlfriend tells me, is like, you don't need to do shows like this. And I told her like, no, I need to do these because there are days where the shows like this are, jam packed and like there's 300 people here wall to wall and they're turning people away. And then there's other times where it's super hot and nobody wants to leave their house. You never know what you're going to get with pro wrestling. It's a mixed bag. It's all gambling at the end of the day. And also too, it's important to get on these show flyers, get on these pictures after shows and be active. whether the show's good or great or not. Sometimes it's not even the promoter's fault. Sometimes it's just the fact that it is a million degrees outside and nobody wants to leave their air conditioned house. Sometimes that's the thing that happens, even if they're going to another air conditioned place. Like sometimes I don't even want to do that. So that's the thing that happens. And it's one of those things you got to go out there and do your best. And I feel like I did a pretty good job wrestling Movie Mike. It was a good match. I think he did some good things and some bad things, and I let him know what those bad things were. But in an instance of that, you always want to give the fans what they want, but you never want to do anything half-ass. And I think a lot of people in the roster went whole ass. And unfortunately, one of the wrestlers on the show, Silas Mason. He was one of the many beef boys on this show at Elevation Pro Wrestling. For whatever reason, Elevation Pro Wrestling, they book a lot of beef boys. There are a lot of big ones. Josh Cummings, although AKA Stupid Joshua, would love the entire roster of Elevation Pro Wrestling because there are a lot of beef boys there. And Silas Mason was definitely one of those guys. Tons of personality, had a great look, and he went for a moonsault. And unfortunately, I saw it right when it happened. He went for a moonsault, and I think he tucked his legs in and landed all knees. And right when I saw it, I thought of Joe Theismann. Like, it was a bad leg injury. He just posted about it today. If you follow Silas Mason, you should. I highly recommend that you do. I believe he's plugging his merch. He will probably do a GoFundMe because he has a very bad broken leg. I'm going to basically now share the graphics of how bad this is. But we're going to do this in the sense of I'm going to count. If you guys are squeamish, tell you what, just close your eyes for 5 seconds. I'm going to do the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. And then just close it off. From that. Actually, no, I'm going to do the 5 second basketball count. Instead of the 10-second basketball, I'll do a 5 second basketball count to show you a picture of what his leg looked like after he did the moonsault and the x-ray. So if you're squeamish, do a 5 second basketball count because you're about ready to see a leg injury that's very similar to Joe Theismann. I'm not doing this for any other reason. I just want, when I say it's a bad leg injury, I want you guys to understand it and how bad it is and how dangerous pro wrestling can be, because this was like one of the last moves of the night. And he could have just, got through this move and he would have been fine and he would have got home and it would have been okay. But just to understand how dangerous pro wrestling is. So go ahead and start that 5 second basketball count. And we're back. There we go. That was what his leg looked like after he did the moonsault. And then, of course, that was his broken bone from his hip to his knee. And as soon as I saw it, I would go, yeah, he definitely broke that. And me and Jen just felt so much empathy for Silas Mason. Silas, as soon as you post a GoFundMe, me and Jen are donating to it. And if you don't have to do a GoFundMe, I'll buy some merch from you. That is a tough thing to get your leg broken that bad. And me and Jen, surprisingly, is we can be. Me and Jen are very much, we can be empathetic and not empathetic all at the same time. It's very weird. We just kept thinking about all the possibilities of like, what about your life? Does he have a girlfriend that's got to drive him down there? And we started like looking through your Facebook, Silas, and we're like, oh, okay, he's single. Oh, great. I mean, his tag partner is the only person that can take care of him. Oh my God, does his tag partner have to make it back for work? But now he's got to wait in the hospital and take care of him. Oh no, do you have insurance at your job? Oh no, he's working at this place. And she was like looking on Glassdoor to see if they actually have insurance there. We became obsessed on what this injury was going to do for Silas Mason. So we became very, very concerned about this. And of course, now my girlfriend is even more concerned about what happens to me when I get into the ring. So just just a bigot of a guy, a good look, trained Dr. Tom Pritchard and Glenn Jacobs School around Tennessee. I think Elevation is doing a benefit show for him, but put it in your brain. Silas Mason, as soon as I know more information, if there's a GoFundMe, I'm going to plug it right on here. But it was, you know, sometimes with pro wrestling, you just got to go and do it and not think about the consequences. My problem's always been I've always been a deep thinker, and I think about the consequences. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to you? Don't do that. Is your body going to move like this? How are you going to land? These are all things on how I think. So, but sometimes you just got to go, because the second you start thinking like that and thinking critically on how this could hurt you, probably when you're going to get hurt. But then when you're not thinking about it and you do get hurt, you get hurt even worse because you weren't thinking about what happens to you. It's a weird catch-22 situation, a vicious circle of sorts. So, like I said, be watching out for any information. I'll funnel it through here, guys, because Silas, we didn't talk that much, but he seemed like a good dude. Good personality. He's also too trained by Dr. Tom. So I love Dr. Tom. So any student of his is a good kid in my book. So just keep out for that. Also, too, like getting hurt in front of like 30 people, like, gosh, like in a show that was already kind of like everybody was tired from the heat, and everybody's just like, let's just put on a good match, give the people what they deserve, and then let's just kind of get out of here. And then somebody gets hurt like that. It really just hits you right here, man. So pro wrestling dangerous. But know what else is dangerous? I'm back to authoring Blu-rays and DVDs again, guys. That's right. I'm back. I told you that I may or may not be able to author any more master discs because of me updating my computer. Well, I have come up with a solution. It's been fixed. I just did a trial run, and I got to say, guys, very soon, PWG Blu-rays will be coming down the pike. That's all I can say. I probably shouldn't even say that much, but they've already got them available for pre-order somewhere. Go look them up. I authored those Blu-rays, and I'm back in the disc authoring business. More income for me, which is great, because I don't know if I'm going to get this job with Fanatics or not. So just trying to keep the hope alive. I'm the busiest part-time employee you will ever meet in your entire life. But you guys seem to be busy in the comment section right now. And it looks like we got a few more viewers than we did at the beginning. But it looks like we got Tony T over there at IG Live, the lone person commenting over there. Still uneasy times. Finally got back out to see ROH a few weeks ago. Lightly attended. Hopefully it gets back soon. Yeah, Tony, like it's very cool that we got a lot of shows coming back, and Ring of Honor is incorporating people. Impact Wrestling is incorporating people. AEW's hit the ground running. They are back to a full road schedule and adding another night of primetime wrestling. And I can go ahead and say this right here, right now. If you guys are in the Chicagoland area for AEW, you may see me walking around. Now, don't get your hopes up on my wrestling career. I think old TK still isn't sold on a wrestling Boy Scout yet that brings a tent to the ring. Keyword is yet. I'm going to leave it open for you, TK, to change your mind. I'm still going to be out here. I'll bring my gear to Chicago, but I will actually be in Chicago, assisting the merch team and the FanFest team, part of the support crew. Hence why last week I was talking about how important the crew members were, because I was talking to a couple of them and some of the headaches they went through, and they apparently need a good problem-solving, strong back guy who can lift heavy things, a guy who can hopefully get things done for them. So if you guys see me, you will probably see this face around Chicago, but of course you won't recognize it because I'll be wearing a mask, because there's a mask mandate. So if you see this, just walking around Chicago, walking around the Schaumburg Renaissance Suites, or somewhere in the Now Arena somewhere, or outside of Pro Wrestling Tees throwing boxes into a box truck, and you see this, well, that's me, the Man Scout. How about that? So come up and say hi. Come and say hello. Please, if you guys are going to be around for AEW, please don't fill up my DMs with questions about questions about the Fan Fest. We've put this together, and there's a lot of more information coming through that, but there's the proper channels for that. And also, too, I'm basically kind of like an intern, so don't got a lot of answers for you. So make sure you guys, if you are in the Chicagoland area or making the trip, to go see All Out, and you see this face, come up and say hello. So putting out all my personal business out here, but I was told that me talking on this program is what some people like. So I figured I might as well give you a little bit more of that. But as promised, I told you guys that I would give you something you may or may not need. It's gun safety tips, and I don't know what the community standards are for guns being on Facebook Live. So tell you what, if the stream still exists and we're still streaming, when we come back from this video, I will let you know what I'll be doing for Labor Day. I have some very special information about the Labor Day edition of Man Scout Monday, because I will still be on the road with AEW. So I will not be in front of my computer in my nice Cyclops background. I will actually have to do something very unique, and I will detail that, but I don't want to give out that information if there's going to be no show, because you guys have kicked me off YouTube or IG Live. So let's just go ahead and play the most controversial video that I will play to date. This is gun safety tips with $5 wrestling superstar Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the first edition of Dynamite's gun safety tips. Dynamite, $5 wrestler, responsible gun owner. I figured since we're on a bit of a hiatus right now because of $5 wrestling, that maybe we could, introduce some, personal aspects of $5 wrestlers. And I think this is the most interesting one that you've got. So, Dynamite, let's give everybody out there some gun safety tips for them if they are a responsible, law-abiding citizen out there.
All righty. Well, first of all, here, how's it?
You're the one with the gun. Go ahead, take the mic. You want me to hold it? You got a gun.
I want you to hold it.
Okay, well, good. You hold the gun. I'll hold the microphone. Okay, go.
Well, the first thing, how's everybody doing? It's good to see $5 wrestling video, Jake Manning taping. It's good to see that. Now, the first thing, you got to have a permit to have a gun. Don't do like these other people and buy guns off the street. Then you mess around and shoot somebody and get in trouble. And you end up having to do 30 years in prison, whatever. Make sure that it's registered. Because what I did is I went and got a gun permit. And then I used a permit to buy the gun. Now I'm good. Now the next thing about gun safety tips, make sure like if there's kids around and everything, you make sure, I just walked in the house, you make sure you take this and clip it out and make sure the gun's pointed down. All right, let's get a little closer so everybody can see. Okay. And I'll get behind you. How about that? Okay. Make sure, like, when you come in the house and you got kids around, I'm going to do it again. You make sure you clip this and make sure the gun's pointing down. Mm-hmm. Now, you take this out, put it right here, and then you click this right here. It's on safety. That's good. It was on gun safety.
You're done right. That's good.
Yeah. And you make sure there's no bullet in there. Okay, and after that, then you put the gun up where the kids can see it or whatever. And, okay, now as far as self-defense, because a lot of people question about the self-defense part. The only way you can pull your gun out is if you feel threatened, somebody comes to you with a knife or comes to you with a weapon. Yes, you got a right to defend yourself. But I don't mean shoot them in the head or shoot them in the chest, because you can still go to jail and do 30, 40 years. If the push comes to shove, you can shoot them in the leg from waist down. But only if you feel threatened. Don't get mad at somebody. They say, your mama, you did what? Bow. Nah, don't do that. Nah, you can use your hands and fists for that. That's part of the gun tip. And then not only that, if something happens and a person turns around and try to run away, I don't care how mad they made you. I don't care if they said something about your mama. I don't care what. If they got their back turned while you're walking away, you can't shoot them. Because if you shoot them, you can still go to jail, because the policeman's going to look at it as you could avoid all that trouble. That you could still do time and do life in prison for shooting somebody in the back. They have to be facing you and then I had to be close enough with a weapon or whatever in order to shoot him in the leg or shoot him in the foot. And that's
Well, that's it. That's it for now. You got a lot of knowledge you got to drop, but for right now, I just want let's take it one step at a time. Let's let everybody process the fact that you own a gun, but also too, let's process the fact that hey, if they bring your mama into it, that doesn't give you the right to shoot them. So.
right.
We're still here, right? We're still streaming. We're still broadcasting. Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about that. That is a lot to process, guys. Also, too, something I didn't process in the moment, maybe because I was felt my safety was threatened. Dynamite kept saying, "You got to keep pointing the gun down. You got to keep pointing the gun down." Here's the issue: when Dynamite was pointing the gun down, he was doing it in an upper level apartment. So again, he was telling you to point the gun down at all moments in time, but he's on the top level of an apartment. That means there's an apartment just below. You don't know what's going on down there. So should have maybe made mention of that during the video, but like I said, when you see Dynamite just waving a gun around and not for sure if the safety's on or off, you kind of don't think about that. But hopefully you guys got something to think about with that. And I hope you guys appreciate that because I was very nervous the entire time. But we will have more Dynamite gun safety tips in the future. Apparently, we're still streaming. You guys are still commenting on the entire video. I got DJ Convoy saying this is simply amazing. Rachel over there on YouTube loved it. John saying these are some good tips. David Canning also saying this is some quality material as well. Getting a good laugh out of it. Also, David Canning, I should let you know. Once I got done filming these gun safety tips, Dynamite was like, "Do you want me to walk you to your car and make sure you get there okay?" Now keep in mind, like the upper level, like you could see my truck from the balcony that I'm walking down to, and I was like, "No, I'm cool. I can get there." And Dynamite said, "You sure?" And that's when I looked at him and go, "Is this like apartment complex not safe? Because it is Sunday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Is it not safe to be walking around here?" I don't know. It seems secure enough to me, but you know, ignorance is bliss, and I most certainly can be ignorant when it comes to should I be threatened in certain locales. So regardless, hopefully you guys don't feel threatened by all that, but you had a good time with that. But it seems like we're still here. I have not violated the community standards of Facebook, so looks like I'm going to have to produce a show for next week. Well, I'm going to produce shows per se. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something very special because I try to stream all at once, but I don't have my wonderful computer over here, and I don't have a laptop yet where I can do a StreamYard and stream directly from there. Once again, as I said, I'm only making $12 an hour. I'm trying to get full-time employment. I'm basically interning with another company, and I'm an independent pro wrestler that's wrestling in the hottest CrossFit gym of all time. Yeah, just happy that he sold some merch. So I don't have enough money for a laptop where I can stream while on the road, but I do have a phone. And I do have the ability to jump on IG Live. I do have the ability to get on YouTube Live. I have the ability to get on Facebook Live. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to get on all of them simultaneously. So what I am going to do next Monday, Labor Day, Man Scout Monday, will still happen. I will find a way. I will make a way happen because I am committed to giving you guys entertainment, giving you the Man Scout every Monday. You guys have taken the time to show up here at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to know what's going on in my life, see some funny videos, and just have a good time and interact with me a little bit in the comment section. So, guys, what is going to happen, and I'm going to put the graphic up towards the end and leave it up for quite some time so you guys know what I'm going to do. Next Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will go live on Facebook Live via my phone at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will stream live for 10 minutes. And wherever I'm at, if I'm in the middle of a story, if I'm in the middle of a monologue, wherever I'm at, I will cut it off right at 10 minutes, and then jump right over to YouTube Live, do 10 minutes exactly on YouTube Live. And then after I hit that 10 minutes there on YouTube Live, I will then immediately cap the night off roughly around 10:20 on IG Live, and I will be streaming on there. So to make sure that everybody who watches me on IG Live gets a little bit of love, everybody that watches me on YouTube Live gets a little bit of love, and everybody who watches me solo on Facebook Live gets a little bit of love. So you get a little 10 minutes of me each. If you want to keep following me around, please comment every time that you jump in. Let me know that you're on Facebook Live. And then when you get over to YouTube, let me know that you're there. And then when you get over to IG, boom, it's over there. It's like a little Man Scout scavenger hunt, Labor Day. I will put the information, I'll put that graphic up at the very end and let it run for a little bit, but I will be sharing that on my social media at Man Scout Manning, which is just down below on the stream. So hope you guys like this new format where I'm just kind of talking to you, telling stories, and it kind of feels like the first 20-30 minutes of like a Marin podcast, or the first 20-30 minutes of like a podcast where podcast hosts kind of catch up with each other and then jump into the topic of discussion. But the topic of discussion is not a murder, and we talk about that for an hour. It's me standing next to Dynamite with a gun in his hand, which could end in murder. Murder still could be involved, but hopefully, it's just a 2-minute, 3-minute clip, or a couple 2 or 3 minute clips, and to give you some video, so there's some reason to see something new, some new thing you haven't seen that I edited, prepared for you, and shot for you that you guys may or may not find interesting. So hopefully this format works well for you. But if you're like, hey, I hate seeing you talk, Jake, even though this is Man Scout Monday, I don't like the Man Scout. I'm here for $5 wrestling, okay? And when you bring in $5 wrestling back, shut up and stop talking, you and your stupid yellow shirt. If that's where you stand, let me know that too. I'm open to all comments, and there's plenty of commenting going on, I'm sure, right now. So even my good buddy Don, who's probably watching this from the Evening Muse, wondering if I got shot or not. Don, I'm still alive. Don. And it's a bummer that Man Scout Monday happens every Monday while one of the best open mics in all of the greater Charlotte area is happening. So anyway, it's a great show as always, guys, but it's a great show because you guys make it great. And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in for another edition of Man Scout Monday. As I said, I will play the intro song and then put up the special graphic to let you know about the schedule for next week's Man Scout Monday, Labor Day, Man Scout Scavenger Hunt. Thank you so much for tuning in the program tonight. I'm the Man Scout Manning. I'm the Man Scout Jake Manning, and this is just another Monday.